All right, Shalom, call hello, Yahweh Bashim, Al Bashim, Kakadash, double honesty, apostle, elders, a great millstone, and of course, peace and salutations to your sincere brothers out there pushing the truth across the four corners of the earth. The brother Shaman, back at it again, just going through the news, going through some of the prophecies that were waiting to be fulfilled, and as you can see, just like brothers are bringing out, you still got, because, the Israelites who are under the curses, who went through the dispersion, we call it the diaspora. Esau calls it the diaspora. It's not just so-called black people, but it also includes so-called Latino people, so-called Native American people, right? The so-called people of the Caribbean, so-called people of West Africa, so-called people of South America. And then, of course, you have Israel scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. You got Israelites in Europe, Israelites in the Philippines, you got Israelites in Italy, in Ireland, probably in damn near every country. And, coming into, because I was talking to a relative of mine, she's not an Israelite, she doesn't know she's an Israelite, but we were going over some news, and what she told me was, yeah, we must be in the end, the latter days. We're in the end days. And, she doesn't know all the things that go along with that, but that is true. We are in the end days. And now you're seeing, number one, we're seeing who we are through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. We're seeing who our enemy is through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, which is Esau, the so-called white man, as you can see here. Because, it's interesting. In no other culture can you go to their old folks and just mock them and talk shit. And then, they put them on front page media and just allow that shit to happen. Us as black, Native American, Latino men, we can never go to their old folks, to their elders, and just talk shit and do this and mock them. And what he's doing, beating the drum, that's not doing shit. Let's call a spade, because you still have a lot of Native Americans who won't wake up to the fact that they're Israelites. They still want to cleave on to all these customs that they learned when they came here to America, when they sailed over from their captivity under the Assyrians, thousands of years ago. Israel refers to them as the 10 lost tribes of Israel. But basically, it's time for us to wake up. Okay, beating the drum, that's not going to do shit. You got a nice jacket on, it's not going to do anything. The only song that's going to bring this devil down, these proud-ass devils, which, once again, these are old folks. These ain't warriors. That show you how weak Esau is. Because when they come out and we deal with them, they're real quiet. They might have a MAGA hat on. They might go real quietly when they come and get some young Israelites, or even, older Israelites who are in the faith or whatever, but all Israelites, we have that warrior mentality. Just goes to show you once again who the devil is on this planet. The damn, there's nobody else who's done and celebrates the wickedness as these so-called white people. Look at them. Look at that proud, stupid ass look on his face. And that's why it's important for us to cleave so hard onto who we really are, because that's the only power that's going to protect you. One thing about, Native Americans, I'm going to get to the scripture real quick too, where it talks about them in prophecy, because it's not going to say Native Americans are Israelites. It's not going to say black people are Israelites in it, because everything had to be coded, through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, which is the Heavenly Father and His Son, Heavenly Father is Yahweh, his son is Yahweh Shai. Everything had to be coded so that these devils couldn't find it, couldn't necessarily figure it out. Not all of them, but then we could come and get the book and get the information, and we could go and know who we were. And that's basically what happened. This devil had this book for hundreds of years, I'll say it like that. And they could never figure out all of the secrets, until brothers in the faith came around, till my elders came around, my elders came around. But this is Genesis 49. This is who the so-called Native Americans are. Gad, a troop shall overcome him. This is one of Jacob's sons. A troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. And in the Hebrew, it's written very interestingly. It's Gad, Gawad, Iquab. Yep, Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. And that's what these Gadites are waiting for, because in Revelations, it's going to be 12,000 from the tribe of Gad, 12,000 men. That's going to be sealed. Because even when you look amongst the Native Americans, they did that racial politics shit too. All the tribes did it. The lighter you were, the more you could achieve, the more you could receive. The more you marry your daughters to Esau, the more that you could do, with your family and all that. Well, that's the same with Gad. You had a lot of dark-skinned Native Americans who they didn't receive any benefits because the tribe might have kicked them out or might have turned on them. You've had that kind of politics in their system too. And just like a lot of so-called black history, a lot of their history has been shrouded under Esau. Esau has changed a lot of their history too. And that's when we get books like, what's the name of this book? Salakia. James Adair. That's what we get, James Adair and those kind of books, the history of the Native Americans, and people who actually had a real account of going amongst them and observing them and seeing how the traditions of Native Americans is so close to the Hebrew traditions and the traditions of the people in the Bible. Okay, so if you're Native American or First Nation or whatever you're calling yourself, you're most likely an Israelite. Your father's line goes back to that. You're most likely an Israelite. But this is what happened to him. A troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. And to this day, Gad, they have not overcome this white man. And it comes down to it, man, just like all the other tribes, are starting to wake up. You're starting to see it. You're starting to see, you still got a lot of our people sleep, don't get me wrong. But you got a lot of brothers from other tribes waking up. But it seems like when it comes to Native Americans, man, they don't want to stick with it. Okay, you got brothers who are Native Americans, like I said, but they get kind of passed for Judites and stuff. But you don't see very many people we consider super traditional Native American to be as Israelites. I put it like that. Guys straight off the res or something. But it is what it is. The Lord is gonna do, what He'll do. He's gonna get that number, however He gets that number. So, and this is Psalm 25, man. This is another way you're an Israelite, because you sing these songs. You have this. You have this in your spirit. This is Psalm 25:1. Unto Thee, O Lord, do I lift up my soul. O my power, I trust in Thee. Let me not be ashamed. Let not my enemies triumph over me. Yeah, let none of that wait on Thee be ashamed. Let them be ashamed without transgress without cause. Which transgress without cause. That's these Edomites. Show me Thy path, Thy ways, O Lord. Teach me Thy paths. Lead me in Thy truth and teach me, for Thou art the power of my salvation. On Thee do I wait all the day. Remember, O Lord, Thy tender mercies and Thy loving kindness, for they have been ever of old. Remember not the sins of my youth, nor my transgressions. According to thy mercy, remember thou me for thy goodness' sake, O Lord. There you go. And the whole chapter is pretty good. I'm gonna just read that part, because that's the prayer that every one of the tribes, we all pray that same prayer. All of us who are the Israelites, and that's how you know you're an Israelite. These other nations, they're not praying that prayer. They're comfortable. Even if they are poor, these other nations, Chinese, Arabs, these Indians, all these other nations, they're not doing that. They're comfortable here. They're in enjoyment here. And the Native Americans, they're never going to get this land back. This land is going to be destroyed according to the prophecies of the Bible. So, and this is not about a religion too. That's another strong point. This isn't about religion. This is about spirituality. This is about your bloodline. This is about where you come from, who you are, and what you're chosen to be. Which the Israelites are chosen to be the rulers of this world. We are those people. We are those kings and priests. So, hey, with that being said, call Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bashim Kakadash. Hopefully this is edifying for you. Shalom.